What's up, Pokemon trading card game fans? Welcome to episode 84 of the Special Conditions podcast, where our love for Pokemon and collecting collide. Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is May 24th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Tuttle, and I am joined today by a new but familiar voice, Ken Pescator.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Ken.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. How about yourself?
I am. I'm pretty darn excited to be here, and I look forward to going on this journey with you and continuing the momentum that you and Josh have created over the last 83 episodes. So, shout out to Josh for doing an amazing job. Wishing him the best of luck with everything he does. And yeah, man, super excited to be here.
I'm gonna miss Josh, but he's just a text message away for me, or for both of us.
Yep.
We just texted him today, so Josh, we love you. Thanks for everything. And yeah, so Ken, welcome to the podcast. This is the TCG podcast. Tell us a little bit about your background, kind of fill the fans in real quick.
Sure. So, like Adam said, my name is Ken Pescator. I run the Pokemon Professor Network, which is the network that this show is on. And I also co-host the Gotta Watch 'Em All and Lured Up podcast with Adam. So now we are doing 3 podcasts each on the network, which is pretty cool. I have a long-term background with Pokemon, the TCG specifically. Back in the day in 1999, when the game first came to the States, I used to work at a Wizards of the Coast physical brick and mortar location. So I got kind of in bed with the Pokemon Company back then, running tournaments and doing stuff very, very early. This was prior to the actual Professor program being launched. And, you know, I used to do events at Toys R Us and GameStops and Funko Lands and all that kind of stuff back in the day. So I was a big collector. I mean, I still have my original, base set, master set, a lot of first edition stuff, a lot of, shadowless stuff.
I know. Every time you show those off during the Zoom calls, I get so jealous. I'm like, I just want one of each.
So I've got a lot of old cards and, Pokemon is in my blood. I've loved it since day one. And I definitely got started with the franchise with the TCG. So very much in love with that. But over the years, my knowledge of the TCG has waned because other areas of the franchise kind of took precedent. More specifically, like in the last 5 years, Pokemon Go has typically been my focus. Now, while I've been a collector, I haven't been a competitor at all. I've, played very casually with the community on TCGO. I built 1 or 2 physical decks, but never really played, too seriously. So my goal here on this show is to learn from Adam and get myself to a place where I can use my existing collection, my new collection, the stuff that I acquire to become competitive and figure out how to make sense of the current TCG space, because as we all know, it's a little crazy. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, but I urge and welcome any, questions or feedback, or if anyone, wants to connect with me directly, shoot us an email, and I'd love to meet the community and connect. But Adam, like I said, man, I'm just really excited to be here, and I really look forward to the future of this show, and honestly, getting competitive in the TCG so I don't have to get my butt whipped on TCGO by the community every week.
I know. I'm so excited.
Adam gets so mad. He's like, no, don't click that. Don't click.
Why did you retreat? You have a switch in your hand.
He's like, did you even draw?
Well, that's the great thing about the TCGO is it just doesn't let you forget that stuff.
No,
you're forced to draw a card at the beginning of your turn.
But it's and I think where the dynamic and paradigm shift away from the style that what Josh had brought to the show is I'm mechanically sound with the TCG. I understand the mechanics of the game, how to play, how to read cards, turn process, like the whole mechanical process of the game, I'm completely fluent in. However, understanding deck building strategies and, using the machine of each of the deck strategies and all that kind of stuff, that's where my area of opportunity lies. So I'm really looking forward to, to figuring out, the current metas and understanding how, I can convert the collecting style that I've kind of had over the past couple years into,
The one elite trainer box of each set.
dude, I'm telling you,
That's
man,
not going to cut it.
Look, man,
We're going to have to do some shopping over at tcgplayer.com.
That's okay. We could do some stuff. I'm okay with piecemealing a deck together, but honestly, that my style has been the one elite trainer box per set. A couple random stuff if I happen to see it at stores. Obviously not lately, but that's where I was at for the past couple sets. At least since I don't know, probably since the Sword and Shield, turnover, since that collection came out. I've kind of just been on that one ETB grind, but yeah, I'm sure that'll change now being on the show and having to have a little bit stronger knowledge base, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there for sure.
We will definitely get there. All right. So Ken, I will just kind of go over what we've got going on for the show this week. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So we've got TCG Player pickup. This week's going to be Jirachi Amazing Rare from Vivid Voltage. We're going to go over the Players Cup 4 progress report. My keys used and points. Card of the week is going to be Drampa from Battle Styles. And then the art of the week is going to be Unown. And that's a whole other thing that we need to get into afterwards. But yeah, we'll do our TNC Comics opening and then emails at the end. Does that sound like a cool show?
Awesome. I'm super excited, man. I'm so ready.
All right. So we've been doing this new thing where we talk about cards that once physical tournaments come back, which should be shortly. The world's opening back up. It's a crazy place. I'll probably still wear my mask no matter what, especially in a large public setting. But the physical cards, we're going to need them to play. And so we've been working this new segment where we talk about a card that you definitely should have in your collection, in your binder, ready to switch in and out of decks. Just because they're gonna be cards that will go up in value once physical competitions come back. Because these cards will be harder to find.
So I imagine that, obviously, besides the actual rarity of a card with just the population of a card, the impact that a competitive card will have, that'll obviously drive the price up. I mean, the last time I was really into competitive play and shopping around for cards, it was like Guzma was like the card to get, and I just remember it being so expensive because everyone needed to run 4 copies in their deck. So I'd imagine that still holds true, where if a card is necessary for decks, that's going to greatly, influence the price of the card on the market.
Yes. Luckily, our last podcast, we talked about Houndoom, and the one before that, we talked about Crobat V. Those cards are really cheap, but once people realize that those are cards you're going to need quantities of 4 of for each deck, or for a lot of decks, they will rise in price, because the price for being competitive will always go up, and that's just what happens with the TCG. And the cards fluctuate. It's like one week this deck will be good, so this card will rise in price, and then it's a crazy market.
Stonks.
Exactly. So we're gonna go over Jirachi the Amazing Rare from Vivid Voltage. Right now the average price is around $17, and once rotation hits, it's a hit or miss. This could be like the new Jirachi, because the one from Team Up was going for $20 at one point before they put it in the Trainer's Toolkit. No, the League Battle Deck, the Pikarom League Battle Deck.
Yep.
Until they did that card was a $20 card. And right now, like I said, the average price for the Jirachi Amazing Rare, $17. So get your hands on them while they're reasonable. They're still rare. They're more rare than the Holo Jirachi. So this card has an ability called Dreamy Revelation. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your active spot, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand and the other card on the top of your deck. That's an amazing ability.
So that, I guess the purpose of the card is really to set you up for the current turn, but then kind of give you a little bit of an edge going into the next turn.
Yes. Now, where this differs from the other Jirachi is that one let you look at the top 5 and take an item card or a trainer card that you found, and then it went to sleep. This does not go to sleep. So you could attach a air balloon, use its ability, and then retreat. So every time your opponent knocks something out, you can always like have this as the backup to get you set up for your following turn.
Okay, so something would get knocked out, you pull this in, set yourself up, and then you're good to go for the next turn. Got it.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a consistency card.
Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. And I guess the fact that it doesn't go to sleep, I just remember playing in the TCGO so much, seeing so much of that last Jirachi card being used, and yeah, the sleep thing was required a lot of other ancillary cards to kind of support get yourself out of that situation, pulling it out.
Switch, scoop up net,
yeah,
escape rope. Like there's a lot of those cards now. So I mean, you can still couple this with scoop up net. So you could essentially, if you could play one down, you use its ability, you scoop up net, bring it up, play it down again, bring it back into the active. You could just use it over and over again.
Because the ability, it only works from the active.
Correct.
Gotcha. Awesome.
And then for a psychic, fighting, and metal, it has Amazing Star. Search your deck for up to 7 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. That's kind of a crazy combination of energies. I don't know if you'd ever get that off, but if you do, that'll set you up for the entire game pretty much.
Yeah, that's a pretty bizarre spread. I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Do you just run one of each of those just for this card? Like what?
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's a hard attack to get off.
And I guess it's also worth noting the amazing art, on this card. It's like
oh my god, it's beautiful.
The Jirachi itself is super basic and almost like has like a monotone body, but of course the amazing rare, swirly splash of rainbow colors. So that kind of juxtaposition makes the card look really awesome. I just love the amazing rare, how it like surpasses the border. It kind of like bleeds out a little bit. I just love that.
Well, the physical cards are amazing to look at
Yeah.
because all the energies are all shiny as well. So even the weakness, the resistance, and the retreat all have the shiny little flare to them, as well as the main attack, as well as all of the rainbowness in the actual card itself.
Nice.
These are gorgeous cards. All right, moving on. Players Cup update. Since the last episode, I've only gotten in a few games, so I've only used 4 keys, and I've got 9 points in total. And that was with Eternatus. I was donked in the finals.
What is donked?
So that means if that's your only Pokemon to play, you lose.
Oh.
And I had 2 Zigzagoons in my hand, and instead of playing one down, I just left my Eternatus in the active by itself, and they were able to get Mewtwo, and they were able to discard whatever they needed, and there was a Charizard. They discarded the Charizard, and they used its GX attack to one-shot me. Or no, was it? I just know it was something with Mewtwo. They put enough Pokemon in the discard or whatever, and they just welded for 2 energies, and then they attached their Rainbow energy or Aurora energy, and then they just one-shotted me, and I was like, what?
But
what just happened?
Keeping the Zigzagoons in your hand, was that just like an oversight, or did you actually have some kind of plan?
So those would have been to do more damage, because I didn't know what they were playing, and having those in your hand is a better play, because if they had started with like, I don't know, something with 50 hit points, like a Rowlet, and that is a deck that's being used, that stops V Pokemon from attacking it, or GX Pokemon, the Decidueye. So if I was able to play 2 of those down and then hit with Eternatus's first attack for 30, that would knock it out. So I don't know why that's what I thought I was going against, but it's just one of those, like, it's better to hold them into your hand because they don't do anything on the bench.
Except prevent you from getting donked.
Well, yeah.
And what was it, like a round 2 or round 3 kind of over and
It
done?
was the finals. It was the finals match.
No, I mean, like, how many rounds into the match were you when this happened? Like,
Okay, so there's 3 rounds in one key.
no, not in the Players Cup. In that match where you actually got the one, knocked out when you got donked.
Yeah, you only get to play one. So it's top 8.
No,
top
not
4,
not
top
not
2.
take the Players Cup completely away from it. What turn were you on in the match?
Oh, turn 2. It was my opponent's turn because they can attack on their first turn.
So it was like, what was it, like 60 seconds and you're done?
Yeah. It was so embarrassing.
That's awesome.
I was like, well, that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. So I haven't logged, I every so often I'll log into the TCG. So I just logged in. I'm like, oh, look, I got 50 keys.
And you've got less than 2 days to
Yo, I'm doing one match, and if I win, I'm going out like a champ. Oh, that's good.
I don't know how tomorrow's gonna go, like, as far as like what I want to get. Like, I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff to do gardening, and it's like I want to do that, but at the same time I have like 47 keys I need to get through. Or like 46. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll be able to get them all done, but I'm going to try my hardest.
Pour yourself a cup of coffee and get to it, man.
I'm literally drinking coffee as we speak.
Nice.
All right, let's jump into our card of the week. We've got Drampa from Battle Styles. And the reason we chose this card is because it has an attack for 1 energy called Call for Family. This card, typically the Call for Family attack has just been in the game for as long as I can remember. I want to say from base set. Typically, you can go search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench. Drampa says search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. The reason this card is cool is I like cards that do this, and I wish the game was slow enough for you to be able to play Pokemon that could use Call for Family attacks. The game is just so fast because of the power creep that turn 2, Mewtwo could just one-shot this thing.
Yeah.
But I chose Call for Family because you're like family, and we had to make a call.
You had to call the old dragon. You had to call the old man.
I had to call the old man to help out and get us back on track and get us back in the listeners' ears. So it's just kind of like, I appreciate you, and Call for Family is like a double meaning. It's an attack that's been in the card game forever, and it's also, you've been playing the card game forever, and I just wanted you by my side.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I actually have a love for Drampa. When this Pokemon was first released, it was, I forget how they were kind of like rolling out these Pokemon and showing these Pokemon to us, but it was like, I just remember seeing this one and being like, this is so different. This is something that, the style of it and the lore behind it was so cool. And I was like, yes, power to the old peeps. Like, I like the old, Drampa, grandpa kind of thing. I was like, yes, old people for the win. It's awesome.
It looks like the never-ending story dragon.
Yes, it looks like Falcor, the luck dragon. Absolutely, 100%.
But in reality, there is this attack on it for 2 colorless energies. It's called Spiral Rush. Now, for a twin energy, so 1 energy, it's doing 30 damage as the base. Cool, because you just, no matter what, you're going to get damage. But it says flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 30 more damage for each heads.
Okay.
So you could knock out anything. And by anything, I mean anything.
Well, sure,
For
if you flip 10 heads in a row.
Yes. But with that being said, there's also a stadium card. There's also a stadium card called Glimwood Tangle. It says once during each player's turn, after that player flips after that player flips any coins for an attack, they ignore all results, and those coin flips begin again. What? So even if you get tails on the first one, you get to try again.
So this impacts the first flip.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. So at least you know that you're at least gonna. Well, I guess if you do 2 tails in a row, but at least you get that extra shot.
Right. And if you need to win, like let's just say you're at the last game, they have a V max, and you're like, I need to flip 12 heads, and you get 11, you can always just try again.
Got it.
How wild would that be? I just need 12 heads. No worries. Let me just flip the coin. Oh, I got 11. Here comes the last one. Oh, tails. Let me just reflip all those.
No, that's awesome. I want this card now, just for the art too.
Well, we'll do our best to get it to you. All right. Ken, do you want to take a break real quick?
I do. I think, we're about 20 minutes in. I like the pacing of the show so far, but I think I could use a little hydration break. So, yeah, I'm down.
I'm going to get a dehydration break by drinking more coffee. All right, we'll be back right after this. And we are back. Thank you for that, Ken.
Yes.
It was a lovely break. Are you refreshed?
I am refreshed. I am hydrated, and I am ready to go.
You're ready to rumble.
I am.
All right. Just a little housekeeping real quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. You can check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. That dollar is going to get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. Joining at our show supporter tier will grant you access to our monthly TCGO tournaments, which is an awesome way to connect with the community and have a chance to win some awesome prizes. Special thanks to our executive producer, Tish Smith.
Thank you,
as
Tish.
always.
Woohoo!
If Patreon isn't your thing, there are a few other ways you can help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. Finally, you can visit our merch store at PokemonProfessor.com/merch and pick up some special conditions swag like t-shirts, hoodies, and some coffee mugs, because your boy likes coffee.
I think there's even throw pillows I put up there.
Throw pillows?
I believe there is some pillows.
You could sleep on a special conditions podcast pillow.
There you go. There you go.
That sounds like a good restful night.
Yes. Snorlax used rest.
Speaking of Snorlax, I got a sweet card from Zaba. I don't know. It's like a full art painted Snorlax. I don't know. It's wicked cool. Yeah, I got it for the Patreon, because I support him. Awesome work he's doing over there with Nostalgics and everything. Just shout out to Zaba.tv. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to our art of the week. So, I'm not going to lie. There's I want to say 93 different choices for Unown. So it really is kind of an unfair thing.
How is there 93 different Unown cards?
Because there's 3 different A's, 3 different B's, 3 different C's, 3 different D's.
So are multiple Unowns in a single set?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, how many expansions are there, and how many times has Unown been a part of an expansion?
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely bonkers. I didn't realize that, but I guess that you don't realize that when you're opening them in packs and just being like, oh, I got an Unown A or an Unown B. Yeah. So we're just going to start with the grouped up versions first. And then the next Unown that we get for a random generator, we'll look at the ABCs, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll just kind of go for ABCs, DEF, and just kind of take small chunks because there's no way that I'm going to look at 93 and have to fine tooth comb pick the best 3. No way. Because what if there's like an awesome A, but then there's a brutal B, you know,
I don't know.
or a catastrophic C, you know, who knows? Anyways, we're going to start with the Ancient Origins Farewell Letter ability Unknown. This one's very good looking. It's got almost like a Tron tower in the center.
Yeah, it's like a monolith sticking up. It's super cool.
Right, and you can see like the blue glow coming off of some of the Unknowns, which I don't know, just it's awesome. And they're all kind of like looking up at it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the Unknown question mark like right in your face, but just facing the other way.
Yeah, no, I absolutely dig this art. I think, you know, for a black and white Pokemon, like you were saying, it has that blue hit on this like monolith that they're staring at, but it kind of reflects, you know, you could tell the light is being pushed onto the Unknown that are surrounding it, so it does give it a really cool look.
Exactly. The next art of the week, we've got Lost Thunder, Unknown, with the damage. These ones look like they're all having a conversation with each other, and they're in like an ancient jungle setting with a bunch of ruins just covered in like foliage and stuff, with just big giant vines in the background. It almost looks like the Unknown M that's kind of chilling out is like the eyeball on the structure.
Yeah, right. It almost looks like a stack attacker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what I like about this card, this art, compared to the Ancient Origins one? Like, the Ancient Origins one, like you said, the question mark is kind of like facing away from the viewer, from the camera, per se, of the card. This is very similar. It has like the A Unknown, but you see its back. So it's like facing away from you. But that M Unknown is like facing the A. So it does look like it's interacting. So I thought that's kind of cool. Again, there's not much to these Unknowns. It's solid black, but the fact that they make them facing different directions and shows that they're asymmetrical from front to back, I think that's pretty cool.
Also, just a fun fact, you could spell Adam in that one as well because there's an ADAM.
Wow, you could spell Adamame also because there's an E.
There's an E and G. I was really hoping that was like the Z Unknown, but it's not. I was like, that could be easy. But EG, and then there's Adam in there. That's cool.
Yes.
And then the star, the stunner, the winner. Oh my goodness. This one is from Lost Thunder, and it has got crazy vibes. It's got a deep purple. It feels like you're underground in the cave, and there's light coming out of nowhere. It feels like you're in the future, but underground.
It's like a crystal cave almost, kind of.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I like it. The H Unknown almost looks like a TIE fighter from Star Wars. So that's like what caught my eye initially. I'm like, ooh, it looks like a TIE fighter. Looks like Vader's TIE fighter.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. All right. But so after we do the random number generator, or well, after we do see, this is the first time that I'm doing it, but Josh normally does the random number generator. And so I'm going to generate one. I have to mess with it and make it go to 1. Ugh. Okay. Are you ready to find out what the next card of the week
Hit me.
or art of the week is going to be?
Hit me.
It's going to be, where does it show it? Cricketot.
Cricketot.
Cricketot. Okay. Cricketot. It will be. All right. Are you excited for next week's Cricketot?
Look, I'm a musician, so anytime there's a Pokemon that has like music kind of intertwined into its design, I'm all for it.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's get to our TN Comics pack opening. What do you say?
Oh, I get to open packs now? I like this.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? This is Ken from the Pokemon Professor Network, and this booster opening is brought to you by TN Comics. TNComics.com is our go-to site when we need Pokemon TCG products, and if you use code FULLHEAL at checkout, you can get an additional 5% off your purchase. That's FULLHEAL, one word, FULLHEAL, at checkout for an additional 5% off your total purchase at TNComics.com.
All right, Ken. Because you are jumping in on this, I'm going to let you open up first.
Awesome. I have battle styles.
I also have battle styles.
Okay, let's see what we got here. I have not opened much battle styles at all. We've got Lightning Energy, Level Ball, Morpeko, Tool Jammer, Esper, Blipbug, Silicobra, Houndour, Single Strike, Lickitung. My reverse is a Phoebe. And my rare is a Single Strike Tyranitar V. Yeah, boy.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's go. Awesome.
All right, I just tore open my pack. All right. Code card is going to be LY7, 7MR2, 7Y4, HYB. Good luck. Ken, you also have to give out your code after.
Okay.
All right. Psychic Energy, Spupa, Gliscor, Rapid Strike Style Mustard, Electabuzz, Baltoy, Gligar, Salandit, Bronzor, Reverse Hollow is Yamper, and my rare is Phalanx. Uh-oh. Well, you pulled some hot fire, so that's cool.
I did. All right, let me read this code real quick. 6WKHCHTDDXW9M. Good luck.
All right, Ken. We've got some listener emails, and some of these do talk about Josh.
That's okay.
But well, no, I know. We're gonna read through them and go from there.
Awesome.
All right, first one's coming from Kobe. Says, my local card shop is planning on getting Magic tournaments back in August, and I hope Pokemon soon after. Thanks, and I love the show.
I think it's coming. I honestly,
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, in New Jersey, they're lifting a lot of the different mandates. They're still requiring, masks for like certain things and everything, but businesses are reopening. They're starting to get more access in restaurants. So, we're on
I've been going into like Panera on a daily basis to get my coffee, and I walked in today, and it's like all the shields are gone.
What's that
all
mean?
Like
the plastic shields.
counter.
Yeah. Hey man, it's the amount of people in my state that have been vaccinated is very high. So they've my state has done a good job there. And I'm ready for it. It's I think a combination of people maintaining their diligence and their vigilance to protecting themselves and the people around them, and just doing this in a smart way. But I think we're all ready for a little bit of a social gatherings for sure.
Yes, yeah. I want a Go Fest. I want a regionals. I want a nationals. I want a worlds. I want it all. All right. Next one is coming from John. Says, hi, Adam and Josh. I hope you're both doing well. I'm caught up with the show now, and I'm glad to hear others have been binging your podcast too. It never disappoints and is always a welcome distraction. I've been trying out the online TCG lately, and I've been playing with my brother here and there. I also checked out a few of other Players Cup matches on YouTube. It's still very much over my head, but I think I'm starting to pick things up. It's hard to collect at the moment because everything has been locked down where I live for what feels like 6 months now. I've been able to collect some Shining Fates and Battle Styles, but it's very hard to find still, especially online. I apologize for being a noob with Discord and Patreon, but I couldn't find where to go to buy one of Adam's special packs. I remember him talking about them from the last time, and would really love to get one. If there's any still available, is there any way I could arrange this with you? Thanks very much for the hard work you put into the show. It will be episode 100 before you know it. Stay safe, John.
Sweet.
Thanks, John. I haven't put them up yet. I'm still working with TNC, so yeah, I'm like 23 days behind, but I have plenty. I will say that. Because I every once in a while because I open up a bunch of packs and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna make another one, and then it's like, then I have another one, then I gotta seal that one and make it up. But I did do a giveaway on Twitter. I will announce the winners by the time they hear this. They'll be announced on Twitter. So look forward to that. I will have them on the TN Comics website, hopefully by the 1st of June. The absolute latest. That's like my goal. And yeah, so just, you could shoot me a DM too on the Discord, the Delibird King.
Yeah, and anyone that's not in the Discord but wants to get information on this, just connect with us on social media. If you go to specialconditionstcg.com for the show page, it'll connect you, through PokemonProfessor.com and everything. It'll link you to all our social. Just check that out, and I'm sure we'll be blasting that stuff up once the packs are up and available.
Yes. Next one is coming from Roy. It says, "Hi, I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. I've recently started getting into the Pokemon TCG again, not having done much since the early Wizard of the Coast days. This is mainly due to my 7-year-old developing an interest in the game. It's been fun learning the game and how it's evolved in the last decade or so. The cards are certainly a lot nicer looking. Yes, they very much so are.
Yeah.
We've both been learning to play the physical game using the Battle Academy box. I'm also getting the Inteleon VMAX battle deck, since I read that's a good introduction to more competitive decks. Yes, 100%. This Inteleon deck that came out is absolutely amazing. It's basically what I've been playing with my Lapras, just with Inteleon.
It's
fabulous.
Y'all were talking about this on the Zoom call, right? This was the card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And Pokemon printed a whole bunch of these, so these will not go anywhere. Like, these will be out, so they're pretty easy to find.
Nice.
He continues and says, "I will admit it's been a bit of overwhelming navigating product purchases with all the special boxes and sets, blister packs, booster boxes, etc. I'm interested in hearing more about your suggested purchases for new players, but without being overwhelmed with buying stuff. Again, thank you for your great podcast and keep up the great work." Thank you, Roy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, just there's a ton of products coming, and that will never stop. Pokemon just does that. They go, "Oh, we're gonna come out with another set just a month from now. Oh, and in the middle of that month, we're gonna put out this Galarian Rapidash, and we're gonna do this Inteleon VMAX box, and we're gonna do this and that." And then it's just like, okay, what am I supposed to collect? So I get the feels on that. But yeah, I'll try to shout out anything that I think is a good purchase, and definitely the Inteleon deck. If you're thinking about Inteleon, this is the cheapest way to get them. I think it's MSRP for $29.99, and it comes with 2 VMAXs and 2 Vs. The Vs retail are like on TCG Player for like $1. The VMAXs are about $10. So the value is there, and you're getting a pre-constructed deck that actually works, which is phenomenal.
Nice.
All right, Ken, you have anything left to say?
Yeah, I think what I want to be able to bring to the show that I think could be interesting for the listeners is I want to start digging into almost like I need to learn the lingo. I need to understand different terminology that I hear thrown around a lot when I'm watching streams or watching competitive play. And I think that would make for a good segment of the show where I could bring every week a different term or different mechanic of the game, something like energy acceleration. And then, you can help me kind of understand what that is, how it works, give an example of it. That way
I love that idea.
Yeah, I can kind of wrap my head around these different things, because I hear these terms thrown around all the time when I'm watching competitive. And I know that could be a little intimidating for people that maybe are collectors of the game, that are watching a competitive game, but then they don't really, it's hard for them to follow because they don't know the terminology. And that happens to me all the time. So I'd like to kind of bring something to the table every week where I could say, hey, let's talk about top decking, or let's talk about what energy acceleration is, or let's talk about, stalling.
Getting donked.
Yeah, donked. Exactly. Like different things like that to help me kind of get a better working knowledge of the game. So I think that could be cool. Definitely going to bring that, want that to be something we could bring to the table every week on the show. And then another ongoing project that I'd like to start here, and then we're going to be able to document it on social as well, is, as a collector. I mean, first and foremost, I am a collector of these cards. I love the art. I love Pokemon, the franchise at large. I love the lore, but I really love the art, and I love enjoying the cards for their artwork. And specifically, I really dig cards that have practical art, meaning it's not a painting, it's not a drawing, it's not computer generated. It's an actual photograph. It's a photograph of a physical thing, a three-dimensional thing built into space. Clay, whether it's like some kind of model or crocheted, all those cards, every so often you see them, you're like, wait a second, that's a photo. Like that's like a little paper craft, or that's a little vinyl figure, or that's made of clay. I want to put together a collection. I want to put together a database of all the cards that have ever been released in that style, and then start this journey to collect them all. So that's kind of going to be my overarching project on this show, that, every time I acquire a new card, I'll be sure to update the show, and then I'll, put it up on social so you can kind of follow along. And then if you have any of these cards out there you want to trade, definitely let me know, because I'd love to, I'd love help kind of putting this project together. And I think once it's all done and put together a really cool binder of all these cards, I think it could be something really cool to show off. And then again, if conventions or things come back to life again, and we do a panel at a PAX or something like that, this is stuff that we could share and show off with the community. I think it would be really cool. So that's something I also want to build, is putting together this practical art card collection. I think that could be
I've got
super
6
cool.
sitting right in front of me that are meant for you.
Yes, little Wurmple, or
Yeah, I've got the crochet cherry.
I love that. I've always had an affinity towards those cards. So I'm definitely excited to kind of seeing what's out there, because there was probably during like the black and white era was probably when I chilled out on the TCG. So cards that were released in that era, I'm not very familiar with. So early cards, later cards, I've had them in my hands, but those generations, around black and white, I don't have too much working knowledge of. So I look forward to kind of revisiting those lists and figuring out what's available, and going from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm excited to be here, like I said, and I really look forward to doing what I can to bring some good stuff to the show. And I'm definitely interested to hear what the community wants to hear. I mean, this is a turning point for the show. So if there's anything you'd like to see or hear on the show, let us know, and we'll see what we could do about making it so.
Like Ken said, if you have any suggestions, or if you want to ask Ken any questions, email us, info@specialconditionstcg.com. Leave us a voicemail, text us, send us a picture, 732-835-8639. Ken, got anything else?
I think that's it, my man.
All right. Remember, trainers, if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a full heal.
Later.